What's up, everybody? It's Mark from 403 Fauna. Welcome to another Wire Wednesday. Wire is short for what's in your rack, and every Wednesday I like to share with you what's been going on in my rack for the past week.
What's up, guys? I'm your host, John from Inkline, and welcome to the League of Breeders. I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. Have a very awesome and special guest. I've got Mark from 403 Fauna. Now, Mark is an awesome dude. Over the past year or so, we've come to be friends. I met him through some other channels and things like that, and I follow him very heavy on social media. So without further ado, let's bring him out. What's going on, Mark?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on here, John. Super appreciate it.
For sure. Yeah, man, like I was, kind of telling the audiences, I've known you for quite some time. I think I probably met you through Adam's channel, to be honest. When he started doing lives, I know he had you on there. And just that community that he's built is, super awesome. Great people in it, and so I'm very honored to have you on my show.
Likewise, you know what? I remember you from the start where like you had some ball pythons in an aquarium in the closet or something, and now you're hosting your own show. And from what I've seen of you, you're pretty darn good at it. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, for everybody watching, I think I just started this. Like doing the show about 2 months ago. So I'm trying to get better every week. I'm trying to like up my look. Like I might be doing like the suit with the freaking, shirt. But shout out to US Arc. Make sure you guys are a US Arc member. But man, yeah, this has been a really, really fun journey. Super excited about it. But let's get into it, Mark. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself and who you are, what's your brand, and things like that.
Yeah, my name is Mark Jensen, and I started ball pythons when I started teaching, actually in 2000, 2001. I did some research on animals that would be safe for the classroom, and it came up with a good list of lizards, and ball pythons were up there. So I bought a reptiles magazine, and that was dedicated to ball pythons, and they just had a wide array of piebalds and clowns and albinos. Not what they have today, of course. But when I saw that, I was, I want all these. Let me go online and see how much they are. And I looked online, and they're like 10,000, 25,000. Even a pastel at that time was a couple thousand. And I was like, what? I'll just get me a normal and just hopefully wait it out till these prices drop. And that's what happened. I had a small collection throughout the years, and then in around 2014, due to circumstances beyond my control, I had to get out of it. And during the pandemic, of course, I was at home. I'm a teacher, by the way, and I was doing the online, the distance learning. And in between classes, I had my TV right next to me. I'd pop it on, and like mutation creation would pop up, and I'd watch their videos. Like, man. And it just hooks you right back. And I kept a couple of snakes from previously, and it's just hooked me right in. My plan ultimately was to get back into it before I retire, and then use it as a business during my retirement. So,
gotcha. Real quick, I hate to interrupt you. I completely forgot to shout out our amazing, awesome audience. Want to do that, and then we'll get straight back into it. So Yeah, before I forget, 905, what is up? Thank you for joining. I know the chat's kind of popping off now. And I'm going to bring this up because I'm trying to fix it, guys. But Kike had told me that my comments are turned off. I apologize. I think I'm going to have to fix that after the show. So I will definitely do that once it uploads to my YouTube studio. Next up, we've got Mystery Morphs in here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know I just added you as a mod, so I think you're pretty new to my channel and we're new to each other. So thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. We also have Kent from Craft Brew Morphology. Thank you so much, Kent. And Cal, thank you so much for coming by. She's awesome. Make sure you check out her Instagram. Of course, I got Mark. I got you. Both Coast Exotics. I don't think I have seen you before, but I'll definitely make sure to check out your Instagram, your YouTube, whatever you got going on. Yeah, I don't think my comments updated on my tablet, but I will be sure to make you. And looks like I have a couple people I still have to mod up in here. We got Blaker's Pythons. Thank you so much for coming out. Leviathan Snakes, Stephen and Courtney. Love you guys. Always an honor to have you on here. We got Rock on Reptiles. I appreciate you as always. I think you've been coming out every week as well. Keys, T-Keys, and Keisha. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing staples in this community. It's because of you guys that a lot of us are inspired to do shows like this. You guys make an awesome environment, an awesome atmosphere for everybody in the community. And not only shout out to Keys, but shout out to the usual suspects. So if you guys aren't familiar with T Keys, make sure you go to his page. Yeah, they got lives every week, especially here on Fridays. Make sure you go check it out. We got Cole Waltz up in here. Thank you, Cole. Cole is another channel trying to just grow people's platforms and things like that. Phil Snyder, what is up, man? I appreciate you for coming out. All right. Brandon from Nixon Reptiles, thank you so much, man. An honor as well. You've got some amazing stuff in your rack. So does everybody here. You guys are all killing it. RO 5.0, what is up, man? Thank you so much for coming out. The Snake Bar, appreciate you. We got Stan up in here. Awesome as always. Awesome. All right, I think that kind of covers everybody, but make sure you guys like this video. Like I said, comments are turned off, so fortunately I don't have that going yet. But back to you, Mark. So you are a teacher, and how long have you been teaching?
23 years now. So
wow,
yeah,
that's awesome. Has it have you been at the same school district or the same school, or how did that sort of start out?
Yeah, actually, I'm teaching at the very high school that I went to high school at.
Oh wow.
The very classroom that inspired me to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So I had a biology teacher in high school that his classroom was just filled with animals and aquariums and lizards and stuff like that.
Huh.
And when I went to college, originally I wanted to do oceanography, but
okay.
I took a couple classes and it just wasn't my thing. And I just kept recalling back to high school and that classroom and how I kind of help tutor students in the classroom and how I like the environment of that classroom. So I switched gears and decided to become a teacher. I know science is in huge demand at the time, still is. So I knew I was guaranteed a job there. So that's what I went into. And I was hired at my very school. After a few years, I was put in the very classroom that inspired me to become a teacher.
Wow. And is that, just for everybody watching, is that room 403 basically? You're still in 403. So yeah, tell us about that. I mean, you kind of did, but 403 Fauna, you got it from the classroom you teach in, and you said that's kind of where you got your start even before you were teaching.
Yeah, so
wow.
The fauna, of course, is the Latin word for animals, and 403 flora fauna, I think the 403 kind of blends in with the fauna and sounds kind of like flora, so I was like, 403 fauna, that's a cool name.
Gotcha. No, that's cool. And so when did you actually start doing 403 Fauna as your ball python reptile brand? When did that start?
So back before I got out, my business name before out, what I was thinking about was Classroom Critters, because I wanted it to be something involved with the classroom, and I
Yeah.
want my students to be involved. And so Classroom Critters was something I thought of, and I like that. And when I started up again, I just wanted to do it all new, and I still wanted to incorporate that classroom in my name somehow. And of course, my classroom is in 403, so I decided to go with that.
Awesome. And so I'm very curious, as far as teaching go, well, not even as teaching, I'll get into those questions a little bit, but do your students keep ball pythons or reptiles, or, have they been inspired in any way to, kind of take that path?
Yeah, there have been some students. I've actually adopted some ball pythons out to my students,
Oh,
and
wow. Yeah.
you might even see some students pop up in the chat here,
Nice.
because I did invite my class for extra credit to drop by to. So if
Come
you
on,
see a little,
extra credit, guys. Make sure you're on it.
if you see a little bump in your subscribership, it's my students. And if you see some unfamiliar names like what's that on my shoe, that might be a student of mine right there. So
Awesome.
they're gonna screenshot it and send it in to me, so they get credit for it.
That's awesome. What's up? What's that on my shoe? Thank you for coming by. Make sure you screenshot this, get some extra credit. All for that. And yeah, Bold Coast Exotic says, that's what's up, Mark. Spark the hearts of the youngins. That is so true. Hey, Tammy, thank you for coming in. But that's so true, man. Growing up, I don't think I ever had a teacher that really, did that, or at least, had animals on display, kind of taught, through animals or, science, nature. Of course, it was just like videos or just like chalkboard type stuff, reading books. And, I really wish I had that, because I think it would have inspired me to take this route a lot earlier. It's awesome to see young people get involved in, reptiles and animal keeping. And I think it just really, yeah, it's just a good thing for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to Kingdom Pythons, who actually has a whole curriculum around breeding ball pythons. So Dr. Joe.
Oh, wow. Really?
You got to get him on the show if he'll let you.
That's funny that you say that, because one of my last questions is, who would you nominate for the show? So Kingdom Pythons.
Kingdom Pythons.
I assume. Gotcha. That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I know Kingdom has been a huge supporter to everybody in my channel and things like that. So appreciate you. And we got Morbid's Sadistic Balls up in here. Thank you, Morbid. So let me ask you, what is your favorite part about teaching?
Just, there isn't a day that doesn't go by where I don't laugh. And
sure.
So I just find it super enjoyable, even though I am starting to count those years down to retirement. I want to 30 years. So
yeah.
But my plan is to actually build up my ball pythons, and then by the time I retire, I'll have double, triple, quad visuals and stuff like that. But yeah, being with the kids and just something new every day.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you have a most memorable moment in your teaching career?
There's I used to break dance, and
yeah.
I had a breakdance club, and I remember the first time I performed in front of the school, I was like, I'm gonna go out in disguise. I'm gonna put a hoodie on. I'm gonna cover myself. So I did that. And, I started breakdancing out there. Then when I was done with my set, I pulled that hoodie down, and the crowd just popped huge, and that was like super fun.
That's so funny. No, that I used to be in a breakdance. I mean, I'm not like a teacher or anything, but I used to be all into breakdancing growing up. Just putting out the cardboard. Trying to learn windmills. I never really got that down.
But my thing, windmills right there.
What's up?
That's my thing, the windmills.
Can you do it?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I remember.
I'll put on my Instagram some videos of me windmilling.
Nice. Yeah, that was so fun for me, trying to learn that stuff growing up. I wish I had kind of done more with it, but it takes a lot of energy and skill and practice but it's fun, man. It's super fun, and that's something I never knew about you. So thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Um, Now this could be maybe like beating around the bush or something, but do you have like a preferred method of teaching? Is there something that you do that's like very effective, when it comes to teaching?
I like to relate real life things to my curriculum. Like I teach chemistry, and right now we're doing a school garden, a
Oh,
three system,
okay.
which is the squash, corn, and beans. And
Gotcha.
since we live in San Diego, it's perfect time to start that.
Okay.
And chemistry is like the central science, and it just ties everything in. So I could tie the curriculum completely into that. So
Yeah.
just try to get hands on as much as possible with them.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I learned too. And I didn't have like too many teachers that were like super hands-on, but the ones that I did have, like I learned the most from them because it's nice to be able to learn something and then apply it. You know what I mean? And so that's how I learn. I'm a pretty visual and hands-on learner rather than just like listening to somebody kind of speak about a subject for an hour. But yeah, that's how I am. Um, Now, okay. So kind of wrapping up the sort of teacher thing, what is one piece of advice that you would give your students or any young people watching this tonight?
Never stop learning, and this applies to all of us, even as ball python keepers. I know we tend to stick to what we believe in and don't try to branch out. But
Mm,
if you try to learn all the time, you'll learn that you know there is room for the bioactive ball python people. There is room for the rack people, even though those guys clash and butt heads all the time. Feeding live, feeding frozen. Just try to learn as much as you can about anything, whether it's ball pythons, whether it's whatever, whether it's cars, and just expand. And it'll lead to you being a better person overall.
sure. Yep, that's awesome advice. Real quick, I want to highlight a couple comments, just kind of see what people are talking about in the chat. So Mr. Moore says, my middle school science teacher and football coach had a room full of reptiles. I was even allowed to keep my turtle at school and my leopard gecko. That's pretty awesome. I yeah, I thought they were saying something else too, but yeah, no, that's like I said. I think it's awesome. We can get young people involved. We can get them started and educated early because so many people. I mean, people from all walks of life. They're scared of snakes, scared of reptiles, this that. They're really not scary, especially if you know how to interact with them, what to look for. But even just having like an hour a day with a teacher and just being around lizards, geckos, snakes, whatever it is, I think it'll really help kind of ease people's minds and help them get over their fears. And I'm sure you've got students that maybe they were nervous to hold a ball python for the first time or something, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that get over it. You know what I mean? And they really start to appreciate the animals and yeah, get that interest kind of sparked in their mind as far as wanting to keep them. And but yeah, has that happened like where you got a student that's just like terrified and then maybe over the course of the year they come around?
Oh yeah, I I do this thing called Snake Thursday where I bring in a snake
Oh,
and
okay.
just talk about the genetics of it and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
There was one student last year who was deathly afraid, and I told her, by the end of the school year, you're going to be holding a snake. And
Yeah.
certainly enough, by near the end of the school year, she got brave enough and she was out there holding it in the garden and said, Mr. Jensen, look. And
Yeah.
so, you know, just being able to provide that experience to people, I think us as ball python keepers, us as reptile keepers, we need to reach out to people who are afraid and show them that they're not scary, whether it's just family members or whether you're a teacher or not,
Mm,
kids. Try to do that.
yeah, for sure. Now, are there students that have kind of ran with it? You know what I mean? As far as like maybe they want to collect or they want to start breeding or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I've got a student who's I adopted out one of my snakes to her, and she had a female ball python already, and
Okay.
they're actually breeding right now. So
Nice.
I
That's got to
couldn't.
be really rewarding, knowing that like you planted that seed and you're able to mentor them and educate them, and that's got to be really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. She wants me to incubate them, and I was like, if I incubate them, I'm gonna get a first pick out of that. And then she
Yeah,
goes, you know what? Maybe I want to incubate them. So we'll
yeah.
see.
No, I feel that. But yeah, that's super awesome, and of course, she's gonna remember, uh, to remember you for life and those experiences she had getting into it, and hopefully she wants to do more with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's really awesome. So kind of getting into some more like icebreaker questions. Most of them are kind of random. Um, I want to ask this one first. So, what do you do with your stickers that you get? Like, do you get a lot of like stickers from people, or
You
do you
know,
put them on a board or like a rack, or just kind of have them in an envelope or something? Or
I do have a small little board that when I first started, I was putting them all on there,
okay,
and I've been meaning to get a larger board to put behind me here and just display all the stickers that I've got. And
gotcha.
I'm not a big sticker swapper. I just
Yeah,
it's tough because sending out 10 sticker packs it's very time consuming.
yeah,
So I've relegated it to just whoever buys a snake off me gets a sticker pack. In fact, let me share them
sure,
with you now.
sure.
So I think I got the cooler stickers around, not to brag or anything.
Yeah,
There's my logo. I'm sure
that's
you got
awesome.
questions about my turtle, right? Porkins pretty
Yes,
good. So
Porkins, he's
that's
awesome.
right there. This was created. The idea was mine because in Star Wars, there's this character called Porkins, and during the death,
Ah,
he got shot down, and I wanted to have my turtle because I named him after that character
mm-hmm.
in Star Wars uniform. So that was it. And one of my students came up with this, and really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Most recently, I got into One Piece, which is an anime, and that's my little pirate flag, my insignia. Kind of have
Oh yeah,
there's a little 403 there. So
nice. That's pretty
and
awesome.
another anime, Hunter x Hunter. This is Leorio's badge, which happened to be 403.
Okay.
So he automatically became my favorite character. So
Oh wait,
um,
so it's 403. You're saying that that's part of Star Wars too, or is that what you're saying?
no, this is
Or
part of an anime called
oh,
Hunter.
an anime. Gotcha. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But one of the audience people will get a chance to win one of these packs tonight, and
Awesome.
we'll do that later when I show off snakes.
Heck yeah, man. Real quick, I want to say thank you, Jeremy, for coming in. Appreciate you as always. I think it was last week I had Jeremy on. So yeah, Jeremy's another great dude. All right, some more icebreakers I got for you. What is your favorite movie, series of movies, or TV show?
I mean, I love Star Wars. I love Marvel. I love anime. So One Piece is like 1,000 episodes, and so I've just been for the past year watching that.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get into what was that? There's some other stuff on Netflix I want to get to, but I want to get through One Piece first.
Okay. See, I don't know much about that. What type of show is that? Is that like an anime or?
Yeah, it's an anime, and
Okay, gotcha.
it's about pirates, and it's pretty cool.
Nice. Jeremy
My
says Star
students
Wars
got
for the win. Yeah, I know you, Jeremy. You got like a whole room dedicated to it. But yeah, no, that's awesome because yeah, it definitely shows, kind of like your interests and your personality a little bit. And do you have a favorite artist or band?
I kind of go in these like phases. Like
Yeah,
I just
no, I
I
feel
just
that.
do like a '90s grunge phase.
Okay,
And currently, I'm listening to Motown. So
gotcha.
yeah, so whatever. I
Yeah,
listen to everything pretty much.
yeah, no, I do too. Yeah, when it comes to music, I try to be as diverse as possible. I think probably if I had to answer that question, my top favorites would be like Jimi Hendrix. He's like my number one. But then there's this band. If anybody wants to check this band out, it's called Rodrigo y Gabriela. It's just instrumentalists, guy and a girl with the guitars. Um, but they're awesome. And if maybe you guys have heard of them, maybe not, most likely not. But they actually did a lot of music for Pirates of the Caribbean series, so they do a lot of that stuff. Now, this might be a weird question because I don't know if you have a lot of like. Oh, I guess it could be anything. So it's gonna be kind of off the wall. But what is your favorite T-shirt? Do you have like a favorite T-shirt you like to wear?
Yeah, just a black V-neck T-shirt. This is a gray one, but I've got like 5 of them, and I just wear them all the time. And
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're good. I just know, man. I'll say this one, like this US Arc one. Make sure you guys sign up. This one's so comfortable, man. It's just so comfortable. But it's cool because like in our community, everyone's they got like a lot of people have merch and things like that. So it's kind of cool to see what people are having for their brands and stuff. All right. So who was your biggest influence growing up?
My dad.
Okay.
My dad, he was just, he worked at the post office, but he worked at nights, and he would get home like around noon and go to bed and then have to deal with the kids when we get home from school, and he'd wake up by then. And
yeah,
that's my dad.
For sure. No, I think that's an awesome answer because, yeah, it's good to have a good male figure, a father figure in your life, and like seeing my dad like growing up, like he was just always working, and my mom kind of like took care of me and my brother a lot more and stuff, but knowing how much work my dad puts in every day to provide for us is something I'll never forget, and something I hope gets instilled in me as far as like work ethic and always finding a way. And maybe I kind of want to say it. So my dad taught me growing up. So my dad's favorite animal was the eagle. Now he would always like spit out facts about eagles and things like that. And one thing that kind of stuck with me was he said that when an eagle has a nest of eggs, whenever those eggs hatch, I think it's the mom, she'll push out the eagles out of the nest when she thinks they're ready to fly. And it's like, if they don't fly, they're going to die. And my dad's like, I've always had to sort of live by that as far as like when things come, like sometimes you just got to fly or you're going to die. You know what I mean? So he really taught me to figure things out, to, really make sure that I'm fighting. And yeah, I don't know. It's just something that always stuck with me. What is up, Chris? What is up, Lee Art Studio? We got Clint up in here. Thank you, guys. We got 21 people in here right now. So, again, I appreciate everybody coming out. Okay, so as some people might ask, what would be your spirit animal? If you had a spirit animal, what would that be?
I have 2 favorite animals, and I could go either way, but they're the eagle, like you mentioned, and the dolphin. So,
okay.
But to pick one, I'd go with the dolphin. I love the ocean.
Yeah.
I used to surf.
Oh, nice.
One of my most vivid or my favorite memories of surfing was I was out on the water just sitting on my board, and I just felt this rumble, this vibration in my body. It's like, what the heck's going on? And I look around, and a dolphin surfaces right next to me, and
oh, wow.
Just realized that dolphin probably sonared me and was wondering what I was, but that was pretty amazing to experience that.
That's really cool. I've never gotten the chance to go surfing. What's up, Chris? But I've never gotten the chance to go surfing. I would love to. Not like the strongest swimmer, but I mean, I know you have like the strap, or I don't even know what you call it, to your leg and stuff like that. So it might be, yeah, it'd be really fun. But I can imagine like swimming with dolphins or anything like that. that'd be quite the experience. And this is, I guess, what you would call one of my signature questions. It's something I'm going to ask everybody that comes on my show regardless. But if you could hybridize 2 animals, any animals in the world, like I'm not saying for like ethical reasons, but if you could just put together 2 animals, what would they be?
Man.
Some people like to take the route of, oh, I would want, to hybridize these as a pet, or I just want to see this. I think Jeremy said last week, he said he wanted I think it was a saber-toothed tiger polar bear. I think that's what he said. So, it could go any direction you like.
You know what? I have a snake neck turtle in my classroom, and the kids always think, Mr. Jensen, did you do an experiment and put a snake with a turtle?
Yeah.
It's super long, and I'm just gonna go with a snake turtle because of
Snake
that.
turtle. Okay, that would be really cool. That would be really
Turtles
cool.
were my first love, and
Yeah,
snakes are my current love, so I'll go with that.
for sure. That's all right, Ken. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Mr. Moore says Black Jaguar. Oh wait, is there another part to that? I don't know much. Wait, let's see. Anyways, yeah, you guys have fun. Feel free to post what you would make in the comments. We got Mike from Herp Collectors up in here. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you. And I think you already said this, but what's the coolest animal in the world?
It is the snow leopard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't argue that one. That one's for sure. All right. So getting into sort of next part of all of this, how long have you been keeping reptiles or animals? I know you kind of mentioned that a little bit, but
Yeah,
have you been doing it since you were a young kid?
yeah. Since I remember, I don't quite remember how old I was, but it must have been like 6, 7 years old. But I've always wanted a turtle, and I begged my mom. I prayed to God in my bed to deliver me a turtle in my backyard.
Yeah.
And, my mom finally bought me a turtle, a little red-eared slider, and it started from there.
Okay.
And in junior middle school, I really got into tropical fish. And
Okay.
when you're a fish person, you're a fish person for life. You're always going to have some sort of aquarium in your life. And
Gotcha.
I have one right now. And there hasn't been a part of my life where I didn't have an animal in it, whether it was a dog or a cat or fish or snake or whatever. But
yeah,
pretty much all my life I've been into it.
That's awesome. Now, what are you keeping in your fish tank?
I have some emperor tetras, I forgot the name of them, the red hook tetras, and some algae eaters and stuff like that. It was mainly as my pandemic background for my classroom to have an aquarium there, and it's still running good. See,
that's something I'm trying to kind of learn little by little about is, keeping aquariums and fish and things like that. Because I know zero. I've never had a fish in my life. So I want to get more people on the show that are familiar with that are kind of doing like aquatic setups as like their thing. I mean, like this is like League of Breeders, but it's not just, I don't want it to just be ball pythons. People are breeding snakes, bearded dragons, monitors, fish, turtles, this, that. I want to know about everything because everything sort of fascinates me. So I'm definitely trying to talk to more people in the fish community just to kind of pick their brain and, see what's going on over there.
Yeah, fish are awesome.
Now, you said your first reptile is a turtle. Is that right?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Now, getting into Porkins, how long have you been keeping him?
Okay, so Porkins is my pig-nosed turtle, and I've had him since 2010. And when I got him, he was, according to the store owner, he was 7 years old. So
okay.
I think that puts him at 21 this year. And we celebrate his birthday in March, which was his gotcha day.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it's really cool to own something that's really rare, and you really can only go to like a zoo or an aquarium to have them.
Wow.
Nice to be able to experience that. And he's really cool. He's super tame and interactive. And
yeah. So how long do you expect him to live for?
I think I read they live about 70 years. So he'll.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And turtles and tortoises are really long lived. So I've got a plan beyond me for him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because he's such an amazing turtle. I love seeing him on all your TikToks and your Instagram, and yeah, it's just really cool to see videos of him because I don't know anybody else that's keeping one. And so why is he your mascot? You chose him for your logo and things like that.
Yeah, before I got into the ball pythons, I was gonna make Porkins a star. My YouTube was dedicated to him. He actually has his own Instagram too, but I've kind of migrated it over to the 403 Fauna. But
Yeah.
that was gonna be my thing, and so I was gonna start with him. And when I got into the ball pythons, since I had already built up that base with Porkins, I thought, I'll keep him as my logo
Yeah.
and go from there.
No, I think I think he's a good mascot, or however you want to put that. That's pretty awesome. And is he still growing? How big will he get?
You know what? I thought he was done growing, but he's still growing, and
Yeah.
I have him at school right now. And yes, the biggest criticism I get on his videos is that tank is too small. You're torturing him. Yes, I know this tank is too small. I do have
Yeah.
a 300-gallon pond here at home that I
Oh,
took him
okay.
during the pandemic, and I had to make a choice when I went back to school. Do I keep him at home where I seldom am? Or do I take him to school where he could get a lot of interaction and he
Okay.
could
Yeah.
get that play in a smaller space? So I decided to
Mm,
take him back to school, and I keep a close eye on him. I make sure that he's gets fed the proper diet, his water temperatures, everything
yeah.
parameters are good, and as long as he's doing well there, he's going to stay there. But I do have the 300-gallon pond at home here, ready for
Gotcha.
him in case.
Now, what do you feed him on a regular basis?
His base diet is the algae wafer pellets.
Oh,
They are
okay.
they are omnivores, so he'll eat anything, and
Hmm.
uh, fruits. Any of the fruits the kids left over from lunch or whatever, they feed it to Porkins, and he gets shrimp and fish
Oh, yeah.
and all the good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must be pretty spoiled, I'm sure. Yeah, he's awesome. um, Now, where can you find them in the wild? You said they're really hard to come by. So are they in the pet trade, or are they, mostly just found in the wild, or, at zoos?
They are found in northern Australia,
Oh,
but
okay.
you can't export any animals out there. But they're also found in Papua New Guinea, and I believe some Asian countries as well. But
Mm,
they are now on the CITES list, and I'm not sure about all the details on that. But currently, unless you can get a captive bred animal, you cannot purchase or sell a wild caught animal. Now, Porkins was brought in before that CITES was implemented, so
sure.
yeah, but you cannot get them legally unless they're captive bred, and of course, they're really not captive bred, but people can sign off paperwork and make it look like they are. So there's really
Mm.
a hobby right now.
That actually leads into my next question, is will there ever be a Miss Porkins?
I wish, but I heard you have to have like a Olympic sized swimming pool or something, or
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I guess from that assumption is that, like I said, they're not really being bred or anything like that.
yeah.
Gotcha. Um, Now, well, I guess you said they're hard to come by, but would you ever recommend him as a pet? If let's say there people were breeding them and there was, less regulations on them and things like that.
Oh yeah. I heard that when they're smaller, they're more difficult to take care of. But if you can get
Mm,
a well established captive bred, of course, then
yeah.
yeah, big recommendation for those.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I mean, they're so awesome. um, Now getting into the topic of ball pythons, Mark, what's in your rack? I like that because you got your what's in your rack Wednesdays. You call it Wire Wednesdays. I like that, so I'm kind of like asking you the exact same, the exact same question basically. So yeah, what's in your rack, Mark?
so currently I have, I believe, 74 ball pythons, and
Oh, okay.
this past season through my breeding, I've added 30 something of them. I've of
Yeah,
course sold some of them off, but some of the projects that I'm really into, of course, clown. Everybody's into clown,
sure.
and desert ghost. I have some desert ghosts, puzzle. I don't have a visual puzzle yet, but I do have some
Okay.
head, and I really, really want to dive deep into the puzzle.
Yeah,
But yeah, and that's that's it, man. Just
for
a bunch
sure.
of pythons.
What was your first ball python that you ever picked up?
It was that one I bought in 2001 for my classroom. It was a normal triple L
Okay.
rep. They're a local store here,
Okay,
and
sure.
I got it from there.
Nice. And so in 2001, so you said 2001 you picked up one, 2014 you had to get out. Um, and then when did you come back into it?
2020, the pandemic, when I
Oh,
was
okay.
watching all those videos, kind of like many of us here,
Yeah.
and it's pretty cool having this community of people that were brought in that time, and
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of consider you my peers. I know there's others that were here before that, and everybody has their own spending level. So some are up here, some are down there, and I'd like to
Yeah,
think maybe right here.
sure.
But yeah,
And what sort of like influencers were you watching? Or it could, been way back in the day, but like what influencers kind of educated you or inspired you to do a lot of this?
well, mutation creation, of course, and
Yeah.
Justin. I've watched all those videos, and
Hmm.
anytime I get a new morph, I just search the YouTube on that morph and just watch all the videos on those.
For
And
sure. Yeah.
I there's a local breeder here, Randy from Dark Cloud Reptiles, and I've he offered to provide some animals for my classroom, and I met up with him at the Pomona show, and he invited me over to his facility, and so hopefully in a few weeks I'll be able to go over there and get a video on that and everything. So
Nice.
I consider him, even though I haven't quite been to his place yet, but I like watching his videos. Check him out. He does have a YouTube, and he did put one out recently.
Yeah, I'm gonna write down his name. What was his brand again?
Dark Cloud Reptiles.
Dark Cloud. All right. Appreciate that. Everybody, make sure you go check him out as well. Um,
Maybe I'm not too ashamed to admit it, but Chris Hardwick, shout out to
yeah,
Chris Hardwick. You know, when
yeah.
I got back in, um, I wanted to quickly get up to speed on the various morphs and who put out videos on all the morphs out there. But
Hmm.
so I know he gets a lot of heat and he doesn't put out as many videos now.
Yeah.
But for a lot of the people that get into the industry, he's the first introduction to that.
Yeah, for me, that was exactly what it was. Walked to a ball python shop, just looking for a ball python, had no clue about morphs. Then, started getting educated about different morphs and things like that during my purchase of a ball python. I was like, oh man, now I got to go home and watch videos because, like, what the heck is he talking about? And then, yeah, the first person I came upon was Chris Hardwick. And yeah, watched all his videos, like what is a clown, what is a lesser, what is Mojave, this, that, So just seeing him go through all those morphs really helped me out, you know what I mean? And then I think from there, I graduated to people like Billy from Mutation Creation and people that are doing a little bit more advanced things with their projects. But yeah, he was definitely the first one I watched because, yeah, anytime you type in ball python or what is a morph or, how do I breed or whatever, it's just his videos come up, So he's put a lot of work into it. So yeah, I know he does get heat for certain things, but if you're just trying to learn and like catch an eye for things, definitely check him out for sure.
Also, one more
Yeah.
shout out to Will Morose from Royal Canadian Reptiles. I'm part of his Patreon.
Oh, okay.
So he's definitely a big influence too.
Awesome. And that's a really, really good brand. I do need to watch more of his videos. I know they got some really good stuff going on. So
Definitely watch the video.
yeah. So I asked you about your first ball python. What was the last ball python that you bought?
Do you want to see it? It's right here.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's do it.
Okay, so if you watch my channel, you guys know I just bought a lace.
Yeah.
Let me share with you the lace.
What's up, Phil? Thank you for coming by. I hope I didn't miss anybody tonight, guys. Thank you, everybody that's in here right now. So you got a lace. Okay.
Now, the lace is kind of a subtle gene, but it's kind of considered the Kodam Desert Ghost because of
Hmm.
how it enhances and cleans the pattern. One thing I've noticed with this is the white bordering the alien heads and how jagged they are, and they have this
Yeah.
a ton of popcorning going on, and they have this clean white belly. And of course,
Nice.
Justin came out with that video on lace, and it just kind of blew up. It's been around for a while,
Yeah.
and after getting it, it's I want to get lace into everything because it just enhances. And you know how Desert Ghost tends to wash everything out. The
Sure.
the lace doesn't do that, but it cleans, but doesn't wash
Hmm.
things out. So
Yeah. One thing I like about the lace is you can see all the flaring coming up, like that white outlines on the bottom coming up. Like I think that's just so cool. I mean, where it's just like outlines it in white. I feel.
yeah, I was gonna go to the bathroom. I'll put her away. But she's also double het hypo clown. So female
Ooh,
race double het hypo clown. I got it from Joel from State 48 Exotics. So
nice.
I met him at Pomona, and if you watch his videos,
Uh,
he's just like that. He's super cool and chill. So
that's awesome. Now, do you have a female he's gonna go to? Or you said it's a male, right? That's a male?
this is a female
Oh, female. Okay, so you got a male for her?
double het hypo clown. So let me pull out her future boyfriend.
Nice. What's up, Dusty? Thank you so much for coming out. I think I got your name right. You were on my stream the other night. Thank you so much. All right, let's see it.
Okay, so we got a hypo clown.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Clown going to a lace double het hypo clown. So I'm hoping to make those lace hypo clowns, and of course white lace hypo clowns in the future.
Yeah. Oh, man. So pretty, man. Yeah, lace is definitely something I think is gonna gain a lot more traction. Obviously, Kabilka kind of, I feel like he kind of sets the market and the pace, and like kind of paves the way for people's projects. But man, like he's not wrong about a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously, Kabilka makes some amazing things, and it's nice to be able to see people with money put in a lot into projects, because then you can kind of figure out like what direction you want to go without having to do all the put 3-5 years into it by yourself with no guidance.
Right, and I might as well announce it here, but I ended up getting I don't have it yet, but I'll have a male pastel blade lace clown coming into me hopefully next month. So
Okay. Yeah, so you're definitely trying to build up that little army for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, what ball python is on your wish list? Like any ball python, like what do you got your eye on Morph Market, or through
I've
other people?
when you're building your collection, there's certain genes that you want to work with, and the only gene I don't have yet is Cypress. I want to get Cypress, and
Yeah, for sure.
it's got to be the perfect Cypress. I don't just want to grab the cheapest Cypress out there. So
Yeah.
I'm constantly looking for that perfect Cypress to fit in with my projects here.
Mm-hmm. And Bull Coast says monsoon. Yeah, that's it's an interesting one. I think you do have some het monsoons at least. Is that right?
I do. I have a Mojave Het Monsoon. I got a banana pinstripe Het Black
Yeah.
possible Het Monsoon. So that's
Okay.
definitely I've already got that. So again, Cypress is that only gene I don't have yet that I want.
Gotcha. Yeah, Cypress is amazing. I know I was looking at, a bunch of Cypress stuff probably yesterday, a couple days ago, in the past couple days, and man, just the way it can't even describe it, but it is like a sort of like cypressy, like I don't know. There's just something to it that really brings out the nice colors and everything. Now, kind of going off of this comment, since you do have a little bit of monsoon there, is there anything that you think would sort of tame down that pattern?
I don't
Is that
think
what you would want to do with that, or would you want to keep it all busy and things like that?
Of course, you want to like expand it and make it more visible, because the regular monsoon, it's you got to look like really close at it to see all that crazy pattern. But the Mojave monsoon does that and is an amazing looking snake.
Yeah.
And I'm breeding mine to a pied, so I'm trying to make those double het monsoon pieds, because
Okay, yeah. I want to
it'll
see that.
bring that white and hopefully keep that crazy pattern. But pieds mess up the pattern too, and so you really don't know what it will do with monsoon. So
Yeah.
Billy, Mutation Creation Crew, Austin, I know you guys are close. Let's see that monsoon pied.
Yeah. It's really cool. I can't wait for that. Yeah, I want to see the monsoon pied, and I want to see lavender monsoon, or I guess anybody or any albino monsoon. But I really dig lavender. I know rainbow is like kind of on the forefront of being that next big thing for albinos. But I think that's probably a ways off for that. Maybe someone just plug in monsoon straight into rainbow, but I don't have the money for that.
I think the best bet is to change the color on the monsoon. So your albinos, your desert ghosts, your hypos, things like that.
Yeah. Or if you could get like a really orange monsoon, kind of make it look like a tiger or something like that. Like that would be pretty cool.
Last week, man, the YouTube blew up on Mandarin, right? You see all those
Yeah.
videos, like
Yeah.
and everybody
For sure.
and they're amazing looking. So a little out of my price range right now, but
Yeah, I feel that. Now, do you have? Okay, so what's one incomplete dominant and one recessive that you like to add to your rack, or like what are your favorites? I guess.
DG was my favorite, but I've been kind of adding a lot of clown stuff lately. So it's
Okay.
like DG and clown, which one to go with. But I
Yeah.
got a shot at producing Desert Ghost clowns this year. It depends on my female, because my female, once I started breeding her, she locked up, but she went off food. So
Okay. Yeah.
get back on food, I'm just gonna shut her down and just wait till next year on that one.
Sure. Do you have a least favorite gene? Like, if you could eliminate one gene or go back in time and like stop that pairing, like, is there a gene that you would just want to erase?
I don't want to offend anyone here now.
No, I know mine though.
Let's go with yours first. I'll share.
All right, I do not like calico, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know. Just it kind of weirds me out. Like when I just don't like it. I don't know. Like I think it looks good in like bananas, kind of, but I just don't like the gene. I know spider kind of has some of that effect. I love spider, but like the calico is just like washed out, too busy, like on the belly and on the sides, and I don't know. I just don't like it.
If I would have known you didn't like calico, I would have brought a bunch of calico stuff out.
Yeah, right. No, I think it's got its place for sure. Yeah, everyone's booing me right now, basically. I think it's kind of like obviously it's not like a phobia or anything like that, but something like messes with my brain when I see calico, and I'm like, it's like just throws things off where it's like almost like if you have like OCD, things got to be a certain way, and then the calico is just like makes it all messy. I'm like, no.
Let me freak you out here for a second, and let me grab something right here.
All right, you got it.
Let's see.
And Hissy Fit, I never said hi to you. I'm so sorry.
Now, she kind of had a bad shed, but let's share with you that craziness that can happen with calico.
Yeah.
Look at that. So
that is interesting, though.
Right here, a black pastel calico yellow belly. So
okay,
it really messes up the belly. Now, black pastels and calicos, you don't get that white, but you do get crazy pattern. And of course,
see, I don't mind that. Like, I don't mind
belly.
that. If the black pastel is like counteracting that a little bit, but it's still adding that sort of jumbled busy pattern, I don't mind that at all. I don't. Like, I'm all for people trying to convince me otherwise. I'm down with it. I think it does have its place. There are good combos with it. Definitely. And that one's a nice one for sure.
That was one that I produced from those 2 snakes I kept from my first original run through. I kept
Okay.
an ivory and a black pastel calico. I produced that
Gotcha.
black pastel calico, so
Huh.
that was my first back.
Nice. Um, gotcha. So let me ask you this then. Kind of moving forward a little bit. How many clutches last year did you have, and how many clutches do you anticipate for this year?
Last year I had 6 clutches. It was my second year. Now, my first year I only had that 1 clutch, so I don't know whether I could consider that a first year. It was ball pythons I already had.
Okay.
So last year I did have 6 clutches, and this
Nice.
year, originally I planned 15, but due to maybe some of the females not getting off food and stuff like that, I think I'm gonna hit like 12 clutches this year, 10 to 12.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Now do you sell those on Morph Market, or do you plan on like attending shows in a year or two or anything like that?
I do sell on Morph Market. In fact, just this past week, I sold 2 snakes. I don't know if they're listening, but Keith and Lindsay, if you are, thank you so much for buying those snakes. I know I promised you on my next video I would give an update for that, but I didn't put out a video this weekend. So definitely next Sunday, I'll send
Nice.
that out to you guys. But Morph Market's been a blessing, and I would like to vend someday.
Sure.
And of course, I don't have enough to vend right now, but maybe I could get some experience vending with another vendor at first, kind of
Yeah.
like what Adam is doing. I hope you had a good weekend this weekend, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd eventually like to vend.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have a friend who I met about a year ago, and we kind of just do like snake transactions. But I bought a ball python off her, and then recently she bought one off of me, and so we keep in touch here and there. If I have any questions, I'll ask her questions and stuff. But she had invited me with her husband to do a reptile show coming up in June out here in Denver. So it'll be nice, because I don't have anything to vend either, but it'll be nice just to kind of get my feet wet and kind of jump into that a little bit, help her out, and kind of see how the shows really actually run. You know what I mean? So it'll be fun. It's definitely nice if anybody can get behind a table, at a friend's reptile show or something. Definitely do it. Now, what projects are you looking to work with in the next 5 years? Like, do you have like a goal for like a animal goal for your 5-year mark?
Yeah, so of course I want to produce that Desert Ghost Clown, and I do want to eventually go for those triples and the quads. And again,
Yeah.
I had this 10-year plan to
Okay.
produce a quad by the time I retire. So hopefully I get there. The quad I would like to produce would be Desert Ghost, VPI,
Okay.
and I forgot what the fourth one's. I'm not a big Pied fan. I'm sorry to the Pied people out there.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, quads in there.
Gotcha. And you don't have to tell me like the price or anything like that, but what animal was your biggest investment?
That Mojave Het Monsoon.
Okay, sure.
I don't mind
Yeah.
talking. It was $2,250 for that animal, and
Oh, okay.
if by the time I produce a monsoon, the monsoons probably won't be the 15 to 20,000 they are now, but
Yeah,
I just want to produce one.
for sure. No, yeah, if I could get into some het monsoons this year or get like a breeding pair of het monsoons, I would love that. Because I think people are going to figure it out. You know what I mean? People are going to find those combinations that make it look good and make it appealing. And yeah, I think that value is going to come down a little bit. But people are still going to make money off of it because it's just so insane. Now, you kind of did say this a little bit, but where do you see 403 Fauna in 5 or 10 years? So 10 years you want to retire, is that right? And you're going to kind of do this as full-time as you can?
Yeah, and teaching for 30 years, you're going to have a good retirement. You're going to have so ball pythons mainly will be a supplement to that. I
Sure.
don't plan it to be like a full blown job. When I'm retired, I just want to do this for fun
Yeah.
and
Okay.
add on to that. So the
Yeah.
next 5 years, I would like to have more powerful snakes in my racks. I don't want it necessarily increase in size. I think 100 snakes would be my max.
Yeah. Sure.
And so just replace some of the ones I have here with better ones. I think as a ball python breeder, you got to improve. And there's a lot of like really big breeders out there who haven't improved over time and are
Mm.
kind of still producing the same thing, which is, it works for them, but
Yeah.
that's I want to produce things that no one's ever seen, that I've never seen. And
Yeah. I think it's like one of the biggest pieces of advice I've ever heard from any breeder or anything like that, and I like think about it every day, is the advice that I heard from Ozzy, and like the things he talks about in his videos is like choose like your max. Like if 100 animals is your max, every year try to improve that collection. Not that you're increasing in size, but increase those genetics and increase the value of your collection every year. And so I think about that because you could still, a person with 100 animals could make just as much as someone with 300 animals, but the person with 300 animals might just have lower end stuff. Maybe it's like harder for them to move, or maybe it's just like a specific market that they've got. But like I think if you're always increasing your genetics year over year, selling off those breeders that you don't need anymore, and then reinvesting, like I think that is a pretty solid plan. I mean, or at least for me, everyone likes, has something that might work different for them, but maybe it would be nice for me to have a big old facility one day. And I think if it came to it, I would probably do that. But our mat in life, like let's say the next 5 years, it's probably with probably in 5 years, I probably will keep it under 100 animals at least in that time, and things like that. So yeah. All right, now do you use an ultrasound whenever you're breeding?
I do not, and that's something
Sure.
I'd like to get into. I don't think this year I'll be getting one, but
Sure.
maybe in the 24 season, that's something I'd look forward to.
Yeah.
But
And do you breed your own rats right now?
I breed a small amount,
Okay.
just enough to feed the ones that don't eat frozen thawed, but I do prefer to feed frozen thawed.
Okay, sure. Now, kind of last thing on all of this is, do you got anything else that you want to show us tonight?
Sure. Yeah, I've actually brought a few more here.
Sure.
And
And then after you kind of show off, whatever you want, take as much time as you want, then we'll get into the pass or gas, or gas or pass, or whatever I call it. But yeah, man, show off whatever you want.
okay, before I show these off, let's do a little contest for the viewers out
Yes.
there.
Contest time.
The coolest sticker pack out there, 403 Fauna.
Yeah.
If you're a geek, Star Wars, anime, things like that, your chance to win these 3 stickers. I
Come
guess
on.
the theme of my snakes here. Okay, I'm looking for, I think, 2 keywords here. So guess in the chat, and if I see those keywords, first person that guesses will get those stickers. And I'll tell you what these snakes are.
Okay.
Okay, so
Come on,
first,
chat. Come on, chat. I need you guys participating. I know you guys want to win the sticker pack. All right, let's go.
so we have a pastel GHI hypo. Pastel GHI hypo. And this was actually a raffle winner from Samson Snakeatorium. It came from
Oh, wow, really?
No Limit Royals. So pastel GHI hypo. Looking for a couple of
Nice.
words. Lace was supposed to be in on this too, so the lace het clown is part of this. So lace het clown, pastel GHI hypo.
So we're looking for gene, like as a keyword. Is that right?
No, not necessarily a gene.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm trying to follow. This.
Okay, right here. We have chocolate. Chocolate het clown female. chocolate het clown female. Let me give you some more clues. So lace, GHI, chocolate. What do they all have in common? I mean, these are all het clown or het for something or visual. But the keyword is GHI.
I know some of you guys are going to be able to guess it.
And this is actually the last one here.
Okay.
So this is a red stripe.
Yeah.
Stripe, het clown, hardwired exotic. So look at that stripe. It has pretty cool colors on it. That reddish brown, rusty color, red stripe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have red stripe, we have GHI, we have lace, we have chocolate. What do all of those have in common?
All right, so got lace. Make supers.
Supers.
Is it really? Is that really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay,
That's so funny. I
so
wrote them down. I was like, oh, all right. You can make some supers out of those.
the theme, I haven't been keeping up on the chat. I don't think the chat's been back.
Oh, come on, chat.
I'll give it to you, John. You win this sticker pack. But
yeah,
all of them have viable supers that are incredibly beautiful. And since they all het clown or hypo, you mix those. My breeding plan is to not necessarily throw as many genes into these recessives, but to refine what's there already. So I want to have the best super red stripe clowns. I want to have the best clowns. I want to have the best white lace clowns. So that's my plan.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. All of those supers are absolutely amazing. Like just stunning. I seen some super chocolate. I think it was super chocolate clowns the other day. I know the white lace clowns are amazing. Yeah, man. Those are all just awesome genes. So kind of getting into the next part. You ready to play
this? I've been waiting for this.
Pass or guess? All right. So guys, everybody in the chat, if you're still watching here, we still got 18 people here. Feel free to participate with this. This next bit is called Pass or Gas. Now, the way we play is I'm going to show you I think it's about 15, 16 different ball pythons. And you're going to say whether you would pass on that or whether it's gas and you would want to add it to your collection. Now, I tried to keep them focused around some of those, the genes that you had mentioned to me when I asked you, what are 4 or 5 your top favorite genes and things like that. Some of them might be more random. I'm not sure. But first up, I've got a Cypress Bamboo Desert Ghost 50% het hypo. Are you passing or is that gas? Pass or gas?
It's got cypress, which I want.
Okay.
Bamboo works super good with calico. I've been wanting to add that too. And you got so definitely gassing on that.
Nice. Adam just walked in. What is up, Adam? We're playing. Making sure I pull this up here. Pass or gas?
Come on. Okay.
All right. Second up. So yeah, the first one for everybody watching. Cypress Bamboo Desert Ghost 50% het hypo. We're gassing. Next up, Leopard Bamboo Puzzle.
Ooh, let's press the gas on that one. Okay.
All right.
Puzzle. Puzzle, probably because I am on Will Morose's Patreon, but no puzzle is the same. No matter what gene you put into it, it's different with everything. And puzzle, you guys need to get puzzle in your collection if you don't have it yet. But definitely putting the gas on that.
We're gassing. All right. And I'm not going to lie, man. So most of these are straight gas, but who knows? So we got a Cypress Spectre Hypo Clown.
Gas, come on, Cypress Hypo Clown.
Yeah, Cypress just does such amazing things. And yeah, so does Hypo Clown. I don't know too much Spectre. I know there's some really cool stuff. Obviously, it looks great, but I think Spectre isn't talked about too much, maybe. Next up, Black Pastel Redhead Clown. Now, I do have two pictures of this. So we got this right here, and I got more of like the belly and sides on that one.
How could you pass? If you pass on that, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Guys, we can't be friends if you pass on that one. Redhead is that's a little out of my price range now, but that's a super hot gene. Black Pastel is one of my favorite genes, and of course Clown. So definitely gas.
Yeah. Like I said, most of these are just. I did try to find like the best of the best. So it's all right. Now this is a cinnamon yellow belly dark knight. I'm not gonna lie, I forget what dark knight is, but
Dark Knight is chocolate spot nose.
oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, that's definite gas because, well, maybe I should be a little more critical, but Dark Knight is definitely something that I want to have in my collection.
Mm.
Cinnamon, I do have Cinny, but I don't know if it works great in Clown, but it looks great right there. Yellow Belly, of course, but would I kick that out of my rack? No. So definitely.
Yeah. Bamboo Acid Blackhead Orange Dream. I told you they're all fire.
Yeah, when you did Jeremy last week, he was like passing on several, and I was like, yeah, these are all gas. So yeah.
I know, right? I'm gonna have to make it like harder, where I'm just throwing in like a nice clown or something. I don't know, man.
Hides in there, and I will pass it.
Now I did show this one on Jeremy's channel last week, but I think it's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
But
if it was BPI, but you know what? Just because it's
not. yeah.
I'm gonna pass
sure.
BPI.
All right, we're passing. Yeah, there we go. We got one. Mojave Enchi Acid.
Mojave Enchi Acid. You know what? I'm gonna have to pass on that because I don't think the Enchi and Acid go too well with each other.
Gotcha. All right, sounds good. Great. This is a white lace yellow belly pastel fire. I don't think I have two pictures of this, but what do you think?
White lace, of course, is on my radar. It's something I want to make, but when you have like too much of the yellow all in one, then
yeah,
I mean, you could get a yellow belly calico or pastel yellow belly calico that looks like that. So I'm gonna pass on that.
Gotcha. This is a hypo pastel super chocolate Enchi desert ghost. Now I think they only had one picture on this, so I wasn't able to get like the head or anything, but
now you see these a lot. You see that combination of chocolate desert ghost hypo. You see a lot of people have that, and I tend to not want to do things that a lot of people have, so I'm gonna pass that.
Sure.
I know
this might be similar. Super Enchi Desert Ghost, 100% Het Clown. I think that was, yeah, almost.
See, I have a pastel Super Enchi Desert Ghost, 100% Het hypo, and it looks better than that. So I'm gonna pass on that.
You got it. Enchi Spot Nose Desert Ghost Het Clown.
I'm gonna gas that because it's too powerful to pass up with all those genes in it.
Sure. Now these next couple, I think I did save some of the best for last, even though I think we still have quite a couple more left. Zebra Ghost Pastel.
Yeah. I know Zebra. That's crazy. That looks amazing. Zebra Ghost Pastel.
Yeah. I do have another zebra in here, but it's like the next one. But this thing is just amazing. To me, it is.
It's amazing. But if you were to ask me to add zebra into my collection, I would not have pastel in it. So.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I completely understand that. I'm not the biggest fan of pastel, especially like when it comes to clowns and things like that. But yeah, you got to pick and choose your pastel wisely. So this is a zebra super pastel spot nose, and I guess they call it a zipper.
See,
So again, it's got that super pastel, the pastel.
but yeah, I will pass because of the pastel.
Sure. Now, this is one of the most interesting ones I've seen online. Leopard genetic stripe clown, het desert ghost, possible het pied.
Definitely putting the gas on that.
Now, yeah, go ahead.
G-stripe clown is something that I'm working towards. So,
okay.
Yeah, I would definitely put. You were about to say something about it. What do you think?
Oh, well, what I was gonna say is like I really like how like on the tail it's got these like sort of like stegosaurus or dinosaur ridges. It looks like it, it looks like it's popping out. But then I guess if you see on the sides, it's actually drawing down and things like that. But that's just a really interesting combo to me.
Before you take that one down, the thing about the G-stripe clown is, can you change that pattern? Or is that all there is to G-stripe clown? Because I think Justin had the spot nose G-stripe clown, and it actually looked worse than that. So,
really?
That's the question: is there more to G-stripe clown than that?
So yeah, you're kind of wondering if we're gonna get like consistent G-stripe clowns that are gonna look good and look nice and things like that. And yeah, I gotcha.
But definitely gas.
Gotcha. Super pastel stranger puzzle.
Man, that super pastel kills it, but
I know, man. I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Stranger in puzzle, you can't beat that. So, and the pattern is crazy amazing. So, I'll guess that.
All right. Now, I'm on the last one. This is probably my favorite out of all of them. A lot of people might be hating on this project, but let's see what you think. Sunset Hypo Mojave.
I know hypo is so polarizing in that you either love it or you hate it. I'm definitely intrigued by it, and that's something I would not kick out of my rack. And hypo, and that looks that thing looks amazing. I'm definitely guessing.
Yeah, for sure. I know there's a couple people like Brandon Nixon and Leviathan Snakes that are working the Sunset Project pretty heavy. And man, like, yeah, a lot of people are hating on it because like, oh, it doesn't age well and it only looks good as a baby or whatever. But I think just like any gene, you just got to find the right combo, the right things to bring out the contrast or patterns or whatever it is that you're really looking for. But yeah, man, I love that one. I can't even imagine how much that would be, to be honest. But that is our bit for pass or gas. Thank you so much, Mark. It was fun to kind of play that. And like, I did pass or gas last week as just sort of like just to test it out. But everyone's been like commenting and everyone's been really participating in it. And it's fun to kind of see, to pick your brain as far as like, do you like this combo or not, and kind of like see what directions that you would go and which ones you wouldn't.
When I saw you do this segment last week, I was like, boom, that's your segment. This is going to make your podcast. It's such
it's fun, man. And yeah, it's really fun because like we all go through pictures, whether it's Instagram or Morph Market, we're always looking at combos. So when I see something, I'll screenshot it. I've got like Instagram stuff I want to show off because like a lot of those Instagram posts people aren't really selling. They're just kind of showing like their holdbacks. So, I would maybe like to incorporate more of those, but a lot of times people don't know what they have, you know what I mean? Or they're still trying to ID their clutch or whatever, or, they just don't post what it is on there. You just kind of see a beautiful snake. So I want to be able to at least like say, oh yeah, this is Sunset Hypo, Het Clown or whatever. But it's fun, man. I really like that everybody enjoys it, that you enjoy it. And yeah, I think it's a pretty cool bit. And yeah, definitely trying to separate myself from, other podcasters and stuff. So, and I've got a couple more ideas. I'll just spit them out there. Why not? Yeah, and you can tell me your opinion if you think it'd be good or not. But I'm thinking about doing a bit called The Price is Right, where I take an animal, let's say it was that, Sunset Hypo, and I have you guess on the price, but I don't know. I don't know if that's like going to be a good thing or not.
That sounds fun.
Because sometimes, hey, you might get like a $300 snake that looks like a $2,000 snake. Who knows? But who knows? I'm trying to work on things to kind of make it a little bit better. But yeah, so now that we did that, I guess we're kind of like wrapping it up a little bit. So everybody who's still watching, thank you so much. Let me kind of pull up a couple of these comments really quick. So Leviathan Snake says, think the people who hate on it are a vocal minority. Sunset has been, or has by far been, our best-selling projects. Yeah, I think you guys are doing amazing things, Stephen and Courtney. I can't wait to see what you got coming out in the future. And yeah, I really want to, it's because of you that I want to add Sunset. I think that people just don't have it figured out, but you're putting in that work and that effort to make some awesome stuff. And yeah, man, screw the haters, man. Sorry, not really screw anybody, but I do like it.
I won't lie. I have looked up het sunsets to add to my collection, so
sure.
Definitely interested. That the visuals are a little out of my price range, but definitely I could add some hets. And
yeah,
Miguel, we're waiting for that DG sunset. Where's it at?
So that hasn't been made yet, then, huh?
Oh, he made it. He just hasn't revealed it yet.
Oh, really? Okay, man. Yeah, so if you guys have sunsets, send them to 905. He wants them. Hissy Fish says, that's awesome, Leviathan. Hoping to see some of the potential. I have some Het Sunset stuff working on visuals to get DG, Ultramel, Lav, and Lav Albino into it. Yeah, that's I think that's a smart way to go. And Leviathan says, yes, get it, Doug. We can't wait to see the Sunset DG. Are they loving it because it's been marketed well, or because they love the gene and what it does? I admit I'm not real familiar with it, but that's all right. Like there's genes that people like, there's genes that people hate, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what makes it so awesome to get into, is that you can choose which way you want to go, and pick those morphs that you really enjoy working with and work with it. So, all right. So you did mention this at the beginning of your show, because these are my last couple questions. But I want you to shout out 3 people. Who are you going to shout out tonight?
3 people. I want to shout out Leviathan, because they have done everything right ever since getting into it, and I know they share exactly what they've done, and it's been amazing. And they started pretty much when I started, and they're up here and I'm down here. So Leviathan, huge shout out. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna shout out people in the chat here.
All right. Yeah, man. Do your thing.
Hissy Fit Reptiles, Doug. I watched all your videos. I know what you have been through. When I got out, it was due to something similar to you. So big shout out to you, and I'm glad you're back doing your thing. And I'm super glad the ball python missed your eye, so you have your eye, so you're good. And 905 Royals, I want to shout you out because I know you got in. Well, I heard your name because of some bad things that happened, but you kept your head up and you're here still rolling through it. So appreciate 905.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I don't really get into all that, but 905 has been an awesome supporter. I really, really appreciate you as well. And I don't know if you went to 3, maybe did. One more person? Let's do one more person. Why not?
Let's see.
Actually, I think you did name 3, but that's all right.
I did.
That's all right. Extra credit or something.
I want to shout out BNS Reptilian Chris. Every time I enter a chat in any of the podcasts, he says, "What's up, Mark?" So Chris, what's up? Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Now, you did answer this for me before as well, but who's one person that you would like to see on the show?
One person besides Wilma Rose. Go big, go Aussie, go Justin.
All right. Pick one though. Pick one. Who am I gonna ask? Who am I asking?
Wilma Rose.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. And what is one positive thing you want to leave with anybody watching?
If you're going to get into ball pythons and you're wondering what do I do? What do I get in? Get in right now. Buy a clown female. Start from there. I've got one of my first purchases was an Enchi clown, and she gave me 6 double het desert ghost clowns, and this year she's going to give me some het monsoon het clowns. So dive in, get that snake, spend as much as you can that's comfortable for you, because you got to start now. If you haven't started, you got to start now, whether it's a project, whether it's just starting with ball pythons. Get into it.
Yeah, everybody make sure you get into it. But don't break your back over it. Like, know what you're comfortable spending. My advice would be, like, don't go on, like, well, you could go on a payment plan, but make sure it's not going to screw your credit over. Because, like, I went through Kabilka, and you know, I put a down payment on there and, you know, paid it off and everything. But then when I first got into the reptile industry, I think it was like my third snake, I went on a payment plan, and yeah, I'm still on for that. So
before we go, can you share the scaleless?
Oh man, dude, so he's in shed right now. Let me see. He might be all right.
They're in shed
Because
like week, right?
he's, yeah. So let me kind of, yeah, I gotta give him a bath tonight, but we'll show him. So this is my scaleless, guys. Now I do gotta get these eye caps off him. It really sucks, but he's going through shed. Yeah, it's like coming off real easily, but this is him. This is Adam, ATOM. Yeah, really, really awesome snake. Like I said, you can see he's going through that shed right there. So he looks kind of bad right now, but yeah, see, I gotta get all that stuff off. He's been a little bit difficult to understand, as far as like his requirements and things like that. Like every week is like just learning. But he's awesome. Like he's actually the one I went on a payment plan for whenever he was like maybe my third or fourth ball python. And yeah, seeing a scaleless for the first time was like just mind blowing, to be honest, and to be able to hold it and everything. Yeah, he's I don't think I'll ever get rid of him. You know, even if that value were to go to like $300 or something, you know what I mean? It's just, he's an awesome pet, really awesome snake. And yeah, you know, I don't show him off a lot because the scales, they're shedding like 2-3 times as much, which is, it's really annoying. And so like every week I'm just like trying to battle getting that shed, because they don't have scoots either, so it's like hard for them to like push that shed off and everything. And I'm always trying to make sure that humidity is up. Because yeah, I think when I first got into the scaleless, it was a learning curve, you know what I mean? Really trying to figure out things. And I lived in Pueblo, which is basically a desert region of Colorado. So the humidity is always low, like super, super low. I'm talking like 10-15% maybe. And but you know, he's awesome. I think he's actually microscale, like a super microscalus, which is really awesome. Because I've seen his sisters, they all come out like microscalus as far as like missing vents. And like he had a sister that was a scaleless as well. Someone bought him, but I wasn't getting into the female scaleless, you know what I mean? Obviously. But his other sisters that were just scales head, I'm pretty sure they're microscalus. I'm really hoping he proves out microscalus and kind of, you know, work that, because microscalus will really kind of change that pattern, not change the pattern, but make it very more like crisp and clear. And I think it might even brighten it up a little bit. I could be wrong, but when you pull out a microscalus, you can tell the difference between that and a regular ball python. So I'm really hoping that he does prove to be a microscalus, because I wouldn't mind like having that float around in my collection, to be honest. But yeah, he's awesome.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, man. I definitely need to post more stuff. Like I said, he's just always shedding, always shedding. But you know, that's all right. So for everybody still watching, I want to thank you for coming out. I'm going to pull up who we got next week. So make sure you tune in for, we got Ray Becker coming up next week from Alluring Serpents. Super awesome dude. Had awesome conversations with him. Make sure you guys set your notification bell for Ray and on my channel. And if you're not subscribed to him, make sure you go subscribe to his channel so you don't miss his content. But every Monday, I got my show, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I got all the other times right there. Make sure you guys don't miss that out. And then Mark, thank you for coming out. Everybody, make sure that you like this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Head over to Mark's channel at 403 Fauna. Check him out on Instagram. And I'm going to play the outro. It's like my intro, outro. But and then Mark, just stick around for a couple seconds after the show. Thank you so much, guys.
What's up, everybody? It's Mark from 403 Fauna. Welcome to another Wire Wednesday. Wire is short for what's in your rack, and every Wednesday I like to share with you what's been going on in my rack for the past week.